Edward Farina, XRP community figure and head of social adoption at XRP Healthcare, recently asserted that Ripple executives might have created Bitcoin, citing historical documents. By the way, can XRP be a more efficient payment vehicle by hitting higher prices and commanding better liquidity? Moreover, why was Vitalik Buterin once interested in XRP and Ripple Labs? Finally, the prominent Bitcoin maximalist Max Keiser argued that XRP is centralized based on a 32-year-old patent, but are we to agree with that analysis? Stick with me till the end to find out more. If this sounds like something of much interest to you, be sure to check out this new video starting now. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency world in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we happily send you a special welcome. We invite you to hit on the notification bell so you never miss another video. We are announcing that this channel has a giveaway of 200 XRP. To stand the chance of participating, all you have to do is simply subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment with the hashtag XRP, and the winner will be announced on the 30th of September. Farina made this bold assertion while commenting on a previous report on Ripple CTO David Schwartz's 1988 patent for a system with a concept similar to the XRP Ledger. Edward Farina highlighted the 1988 patent, which predates Bitcoin itself. Notably, Schwartz filed for this patent under the entity David Schwartz Enterprises Incorporated 20 years before Bitcoin's pseudonymous founder, Satoshi Nakamoto, proposed the idea of Bitcoin. Note that the XRP Ledger launched 4 years after Bitcoin, mirroring the core blockchain concept of the Bitcoin network. The Ledger has perfected payment principles in some ways in which the Bitcoin network fell short. Farina believes the present Ripple executives, such as CTO David Schwartz, had initially developed Bitcoin to test how a payment system would work before moving on to launch the XRP Ledger. One of the factors behind Farina's claims is a publication supposedly released by Satoshi Nakamoto. Interestingly, in 2019, 2 books surfaced on Amazon, credited to Nakamoto. The title of one of these books is Wave and Ripple Design Book. Farina's logic builds on the mention of Ripple in this book, supposedly authored by Nakamoto. However, it remains uncertain whether these books came from the Bitcoin creator, given the number of people claiming to be him. While not mentioned by Farina, another possible trigger of the assertion that Ripple execs might have created Bitcoin is that Nakamoto commented on Ripple Pay, the first Ripple payment system designed by Ryan Fugger, the brain behind the original XRPL concept. Fugger's Ripple Pay also predates Bitcoin, having been launched in 2005. David Schwartz recently confirmed that Nakamoto did talk about Ripple Pay. An unconfirmed disclosure suggests that the Bitcoin creator admired the concept. Recall that the XRPL's architects, including Schwartz, built on the Ripple Pay idea by Fugger. According to David, the XRP Ledger only differs from the original Ripple Pay system because it uses a native token, XRP. These facts and the relationship between these ideas have resulted in some proponents besides Farina speculating that the developers of the XRPL might have been behind Bitcoin. However, these developers, including Schwartz, have never personally made such claims. Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. Prominent XRP influencer Crypto Eri recently spotlighted a statement from Ripple's Chief Technology Officer, David Schwartz, about XRP's price when used for facilitating large cross-border payments. Crypto Eri quoted Schwartz's reply to a question on Quora about institutions supposedly seeking XRP's price to remain low for payment transactions. She highlighted the view that higher prices tend to correlate with higher liquidity, which means cheaper payments. In particular, a questioner raised concerns about banks adopting Ripple and its implications for the XRP market price. Schwartz provided a detailed explanation concerning the underlying process. He argued that the idea of banks wanting to keep XRP's price low would not hinder mainstream adoption. Schwartz emphasized that the XRP required for a $1 million payment would always be at least $1 million. Contrary to the notion that lower prices would be more favorable, he stated that higher prices correlated with increased liquidity, resulting in cheaper transactions. The Ripple CTO illustrated this point by drawing a comparison to Bitcoin. He highlighted that using Bitcoin as an intermediary currency for a $1 million transaction when its price was low, such as $100, would create significant price fluctuations. Such fluctuations would occur due to the absence of much liquidity when acquiring the necessary Bitcoin and converting it into the recipient's local currency. Trying to buy enough Bitcoin to buy the house, you'd push the price up significantly. And when the recipient tried to convert those Bitcoins into their local currency, they'd push the price down significantly. Schwartz explained that the situation would render Bitcoin impractical for high-value transactions. However, where Bitcoin has surpassed $26,000 in the current market, Schwartz noted it becomes feasible to transact large sums without causing significant market disruptions. According to Schwartz, the possibility is due to the higher price, which requires a smaller fraction of the total asset for such transactions. Schwartz believes a similar principle plays out with XRP. In sum, when XRP is priced higher, it would serve as a more effective tool for handling high-value payments as fewer units of the digital asset would be required. Furthermore, Steven Nerayoff, an early Ethereum advisor, has shed light on Vitalik Buterin's past interests in Ripple after some XRP community members speculated that the Ethereum co-founder was obsessed with the blockchain payment company. In 2019, Buterin revealed that he attempted to be an intern at Ripple Labs as far back as mid-2013. However, the United States government denied Buterin the opportunity to work with Ripple as his visa was rejected. Things became more interesting earlier this year after former Ripple director Matt Hamilton, during a debate on top decentralized finance projects, claimed Buterin used to sleep on the company's CTO David Schwartz's couch while he sought the internship opportunity. In a recent discussion, prominent XRP community member digital asset investor asked Nerayoff to clarify whether Buterin was genuinely interested in Ripple Labs. Responding, Nerayoff noted that he had no idea about the question raised by digital asset investors. According to Nerayoff, Buterin only informed him about his previous attempt to build on the Bitcoin network. However, Bitcoin developers rejected Buterin's proposal to implement smart contracts on the popular blockchain network. Notably, Nerayoff said he once had a conversation about Ripple with Buterin. The early Ethereum advisors said he cited Ripple as an example of how a firm should operate within the blockchain industry. I spoke to him about Ripple, but that was because I had met the Ripple folks and used them as an example of how a company should be operated in this space, said Nerayoff. Recounting the conversation, Nerayoff told Buterin how he encountered two Ripple execs, including Chris Larson, the company's co-founder, during a conference, and questions about XRP were raised. Per Nerayoff, the incident showed that only one person in Ripple was allowed to talk about the cryptocurrency. That was supposed to be the situation here, Nerayoff added. Meanwhile, Nerayoff has become a popular figure in the XRP community following his recent disclosure about Ethereum's ICO. As reported earlier, some of Nerayoff's allegations revolve around violations of Ethereum ICO's terms of service by its team. Nerayoff claimed it is challenging to ascertain the number of investors participating in the Ethereum ICO, stirring speculations that certain whales might be concealing their positions. Furthermore, Nerayoff also commented on his indictment, which he believes was fabricated due to his knowledge of Ethereum. Following the disclosure, pro-XRP lawyer John Deaton said he is working on bringing Nerayoff to crypto law to shed more light on the allegations. Now to the big question of the day, is XRP truly centralized? Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. Max Keiser, the Bitcoin advisor to Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, has taken to the X platform to unleash his hate about XRP again. This time, Keiser shared a screenshot of a patent document to claim that XRP is a centralized digital asset. The document was a United States patent paper submitted in 1991. While the document did not mention digital assets, it included the name of Ripple's chief technology officer, David Schwartz. Because Schwartz was designated an inventor in the patent document, Keiser quoted the paper saying, "XRP is centralized, as you can plainly see from the patent." Notably, the patent was about a computer system consisting of multiple interconnected personal computers that work together to process tasks. It may refer to the distributed ledger technology underpinning cryptocurrencies today. Expectedly, Keiser's inference of XRP centralization based on the patent did not sit well with the XRP community. Matt Hamilton, a former software engineer at Ripple, pointed out that the document had nothing to do with XRP, especially since the document was submitted 32 years ago, whereas XRP is only 12 years old. Hamilton asked the Bitcoin maxi, "Why be so dishonest if you had actual legitimate points?" Another XRP enthusiast commented, "The abstract on the patent clearly states it is for distributing computer processes onto multiple computers and says absolutely nothing about cryptocurrencies." Moreover, other prominent figures in the XRP community pointed out the weakness in Keiser's argument. They believed that Bitcoin maximalists would lie about anything to prove their divisive points. Meanwhile, ex-user MetaMan countered the XRP centralization claim by drawing parallels with the Bitcoin ecosystem. The commenter argued that if the centralized sentiment stemmed from the founders of XRP allocating a large amount of the token to themselves, then Bitcoin has a similar structure. MetaMan highlighted that the pseudonymous founder of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, allotted a substantial amount of Bitcoin to itself. It was reported recently that Satoshi Nakamoto holds 1.1 million Bitcoin worth over $28,732 million today. How decentralized is that really? MetaMan asked the Bitcoin Max Keiser. So we come to the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can help enlighten others just like you have been enlightened by sharing this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere, guys. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content. See you tomorrow to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.